So right now we're at Catawba Springs Christian Church, and came by to visit my friend Josiah Horkavy. I don't know where to start. I came by here to visit him because I gotta leave for California tomorrow, and I've done this twice already because I've gone. This will be my third time going out to California. The first time I went out and visited, and then the second time was when I went to my first semester, and then the second time is I'm going back for my second semester. And I always like to come back here and visit him. Makes me sad that he's here and I'm in California, you know. It's just, you know, me and Josiah were very close. You know, we had a lot of things in common with each other, you know. A lot of goals, ambitions we had, and, you know, close things. You know, we've been friends since I've been at Catawba, which was, I started going to Catawba, I think, like 2003, 4, one of the two. And I think he came to Catawba too, sometime a little bit after that or before, one of the two. But either way, we hit it off really well, and, you know, we just, you know, automatically became friends. Of course, I'm not the type of person, I'm not hard to make friends with, you know. I can make friends with a squirrel, you know. You know, stuff like that. But you know, Josiah, I have another best friend, Zach Francis. Zach Francis is my other best friend. I have two best friends in my life, and Zach Francis and Josiah Horkavy. Thankfully, Zach Francis is still around, but unfortunately, Josiah, he passed away a couple years ago. Several years ago, actually. That was I tell you what, that was one of the most painful things to ever watch him. He had cancer, and stage 4, I think, yeah. He was going through some really rough times, and it's a horrible thing to see your friend go through something that rough, you know. But, you know, I was there for him, and, you know, visit him a lot in the hospital. You know, every time actually, a lot of he was in the hospital at UNC a lot, UNC Chapel Hill, because that's where they did his treatments and stuff. And every time I go to Chapel Hill to direct traffic, I can tell you exactly which building he was in, which window. You know, it's one of those type of things where you just, you don't forget it. And, you know, I don't forget Josiah. You know, he's one of my closest friends, and I'm sure he wouldn't forget me if I happen to pass away. It just, you know, kind of grabs my heart, you know. And, you know, it's just hard to see, you know, somebody you grew up with. I mean, me and Josiah, we grew up together. Me, Josiah, and Zach. I mean, we grew up with other kids, but, you know, me, Josiah, and Zach were the closest. You know, we were like really close to each other. You know, we did all sorts of fun stuff with each other. You know, we used to go in the woods and hang out and do all sorts of fun stuff, and, you know, do all sorts of fun activities in the woods. You know, we had airsoft guns, and we act like we're, you know, taking out the enemy or something fun like that, you know, because, I mean, you know, that's what boys like to do, you know, we like to pretend. That's what we did. You know, unfortunately, the society we grow up in today, man, kids aren't taught these days to go outdoors and pretend and all that stuff. Kids these days are taught to, you know, sit inside and play video. Not that me and Josiah ever didn't play video games. We played Minecraft a lot. that was definitely really fun, and enjoyed doing that a lot. You know, we built some awesome stuff, and I had Minecraft on my computer and our phone, and he had Minecraft, and, you know, we used to do that. But, you know, the other thing we used to do is we like to play with Legos. Oh man, the stories, man. We used to do all sorts of crazy stuff with Legos. We used to build all sorts of fun, crazy inventions, you know, houses, you know. We built a church one time. It was great. You know, just a lot of fun stuff, and just a lot of fun memories we had. And it's hard when you make memories with somebody like that. You won't forget it. I mean, it's just, that's an iconic person in your heart and mind that you won't ever forget. And a shame on you if you forget that individual. Ever since Josiah's passing, man, never forgot him. I come and visit him every once in a while, when I can. So, I'm going to be gone for another 3 months. I'm going to try to come visit him when I get back. But it's hard because, I'll be out in California. Zach Francis is out in California. I mean, Zach Francis and I are best friends, but, it's never complete when you don't have your other friend there. And, Josiah is like an awesome friend to me, and his parents actually just gave me one of his blankets that he had when before he passed away, and that really grabbed my heart. They gave me a blanket that he had, so I had that in my vehicle, and it's going to stay in my vehicle just as a memorial and something to honor Josiah with. But I have a few regrets. I mean, nothing that I couldn't have done. I mean, the fact that I can tell you everything that happened, man. It was a Friday night. Actually, the week before, we had gone to the Wilds Christian camp, and we were there all week. And he had come. Of course, he was in a wheelchair because of how he was not in good shape. But he still came, and that meant a lot to me. And I loved to see him at the Wilds when we were there. And I remember the last day that I saw him before his passing was we like our youth group and the teenagers went to the Wilds, and it was either Thursday or Friday, but we all got together and we all gave testimony of what we had been learning so far that week. So, we gave testimonies and stuff like that. Well, I remember to this day, the last words that I ever said to him was, I was like, talk to you later, bud. Those were the last words I ever said to him. Talk to you later, bud. And, I didn't know those were going to be my last words that I was ever going to say to him, which was, now thinking about it, makes me really sad that those were the last words I said to him. And a week after the Wilds, I had gone to my cousin's house. Well, the story behind that was I didn't want to go to my cousin's house because of Josiah. Because the way I had seen him during the Wilds, he was extremely pale, extremely skinny. But, he was losing weight and all sorts. That was a heart-wrenching experience, see him in the way he was, I mean, he was losing weight bad, fortunately. And, I saw him. I told my mom before I'd gone to the Wilds, I told her, I was like, I don't want to go. I didn't have anything against my cousins, but I didn't want to go to my cousin's house after the Wilds. I wanted to come home and spend time with this guy. But my mom told me, it'll probably do you some good to go to your cousin's house, blah, 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 all this. So I went to the Wilds, after that. It was a Saturday I left. I had a bracelet that I wanted to give Josiah on Saturday before we all left, because Saturday is when all the kids left and went back to their churches and homes. Well, I had a bracelet for him, but fortunately I was never able to give that bracelet to him because he had left on Saturday before I could ever catch up with him and give him the bracelet. So, I that kind of, I was kind of sad that I was able to give him that bracelet. So I gave, I didn't. The last time I saw him was that Thursday or Friday when we all got together just to give testimony. That was the last time I saw him. And Josiah was always a testimony everywhere he went. He was positive testimony, I mean, his life definitely showed what type of individual he was. And, it was kind of sad. I mean, it was great, he was a great guy, most definitely. But, it was just sad, to see him in the state he was the last couple days I saw him. So, the week after the Wilds, I was at my cousin's house, and it was Friday night. And we had gone bowling that night. Well, just to skip forward some, we came back to my cousin's house Friday night, and I had gone to brush my teeth and all that, because we had to get ready for bed and stuff, because we got back like 9:30 or 10. So I was brushing my teeth, and brushing away. A couple minutes later, my little cousin Addie, she came in and said, "Josiah's dead." And that I didn't like the way she said that. I think she could have said it way better than, Josiah's dead. Once I heard her say that, my heart started racing, and I was wondering myself, what in the world going on? So I go out to the living room, and my uncle, he had the phone, and he told me that Mom had left a voicemail on the phone. So I listened to voicemail, and that voicemail absolutely scared the life out of me. And because she said Josiah passed away at this time and stuff like that, and that really just tore my heart up. I didn't know what to do, and I mean, it was very hard not to be mad at my parents, because I had told them I did not want to be there at my cousin's house, because I knew something. Unfortunately, at the end of the week, when I had last seen Josiah, I was saying to myself, unfortunately, I don't know how many days Josiah's got to live, but from the looks and what I've been told, he has probably only got maybe a week. And that was a Thursday. I said that. Thursday or Friday. I said that, and I said that. Sure enough, that Friday night, when I got that message, oh man, that tore me up. I was extremely sad, and you never want to hear that your best friend passed away, and nobody killed him. He passed away from cancer, and it was his time to go, unfortunately. I mean, every one of us have a time to go, but it was his time to go then. And after my mom, I called my mom back, and I was like, "Are you're serious, right?" And I didn't. It was very hard not to be mad at my parents, because I had told them specifically I did not want to go because of that situation. And unfortunately, I went anyhow. I had to go anyhow. So I was regretting so bad. I was regretting the fact that I had gone to Tennessee. I wasn't able to see Josiah, before he passed away, and that just broke my heart. It wasn't my parents' fault. They didn't know. I don't blame them. But I'm the type of guy, I have very good senses, and when I sense that something's gonna happen, 90% of the time it does. And unfortunately, I was right about it this time. And I didn't like it. So Friday night, I didn't sleep at all, And it wasn't because of the fact of he's dead, where is he? I knew exactly where he'd gone. He was in heaven, Josiah Horkavy had a very strong testimony. Biblical Christian testimony. I was not sad about the part where he had gone. I was sad about the part that he had left. He was no longer on this earth, which, that hurts every friendship, and it absolutely hurt mine. And I was extremely sad. I wasn't sad because oh yeah, he's in heaven, oh stink. I was glad he's in heaven, but the fact that he was gone and that I wasn't going to see him again till I go to heaven is the hard part. I mean, other than that, it's just rough. I mean, it's rough. That was an extremely rough night. I didn't sleep well. So Saturday, my aunt immediately took me to meet my mom to send me back to North Carolina for the funeral and junk. I was supposed to leave my cousin's house the following Wednesday, but I told Mom I want to come home tomorrow. So she arranged it. So I went home Saturday. My aunt met my mom, and they talked and all this, and I left. Oh man, it was rough. And then Sunday, we talked. We had it was not like a memorial service, but we had testimony about what Josiah, how Josiah had impacted us. And Sunday night was very rough. I couldn't sleep. And then the following week, that Monday, we had VBS here at the church. And his funeral was on Wednesday. So they had to, we had VBS from Monday to Friday. And, we had to do the funeral, in between VBS and stuff in the afternoon after VBS. And, it was a rough funeral. I'm not going to lie. It was, me and Zach Francis were honorary pallbearers. And, I remember that day so clear. It was rough. It was, it was heart-wrenching. And, it's one of those situations you don't ever want to be a part of, but you are. So, we did the funeral, and, we, Josiah loved rocks, as you can tell. So what they did is we had put rocks on his casket before they put it in the ground. Like, all the teenagers and stuff had put rocks on his, casket and stuff before they put it in the ground. So, that was, I got a rock from my house where Josiah and I had hung out a lot, and I had put it on his casket at the funeral. And, that was a heart-wrenching experience. But, so right now, I don't know what in the world looks like down there right now, but, I'm sure his body's decayed and all that. But you know what? I'm thankful that he's in heaven right now. That's such a blessing that he's in heaven right now, and that I know where he's at. It's just hard to have that gap of friendship not there, and it's just hard. But it's nice to come out here and to honor him and to remember him, and I don't want to ever forget him, because he did a lot of stuff for me. He helped me out with a lot of stuff. He and I had a lot of personal talks, all that stuff. So, stuff like that. It's just, he was one of those iconic people in my life that, to see him gone is, it's extremely hard on me. And you know what? There's days where there's stuff at my house, like Legos. I look at it and it just reminds me of Josiah. There's actually 2 Lego things at my house that I haven't taken apart yet that me and Josiah made. He actually gave me one of his Lego people years ago, and I still have it. And I haven't gotten rid of it. I'm not going to. I'm not going to give it away to anybody. I'm going to keep it. So, it's a way to remember him. And, but you know what? The good thing is he is in heaven. I will see him someday when I go to heaven, which is a blessing. And I'm looking forward to being able to see him and reunite with him, and it'll be great to, be with each other again.